luxury carefree living. That's right, luxury carefree living right here in the heart of Leawood, Kansas, one of Kansas City's most desirable suburbs, Regents Park. Located 135th and Kenneth Road, just a block east of the Kansas-Missouri state line. This new subdivision offers 82 home sites, 25 will be single family, the rest are going to be twin villas. And what they offer is maintenance-free living. That's right, they're going to take care of all the yard work, the mowing, the trimming, the fertilizing. They're going to fire up the underground irrigation system in the spring, and they're going to shut it down in the winter. And if it snows over 2 inches, like for instance this past year where we got 16 inches in about an 8-hour time frame, they're going to come out and shovel your driveway, your walk, as well as your patio, so when you're grilling outside, you're not standing in a foot and a half of snow. Now, what we're going to do today is we are going to tour 3 of the villas, as the single-family homes have not started yet. In fact, they're just now digging out the holes for the foundations. So we're going to tour 3 of the villas, and we're also going to talk about the amenities as well as things like dining, shopping, entertainment, the schools, things of that nature. And as far as amenities go, well, instead of being outside in a hot summer day like today where you're mowing or trimming your yard, you can take advantage of the amenities such as a resort-style pool, a pool house, a clubhouse, 2 pickleball courts, a small fenced-in dog park, so Fido has a place to go run to his heart's content and play with his buds. And if he still needs some more exercise, then you can take advantage of the built-in trails that are integrated into the neighborhood. Hey, if you are contemplating making a move to the Kansas City area and you want to know everything there is about living in Kansas City, well then subscribe to my channel. Simply tap on the bell below so you'll be the first to receive notifications about the changes that are taking place in the Kansas City real estate market. My name is Chris Pucci with the Living in Kansas City real estate team, and we get calls from people just like you every day. So if you're contemplating making a move in 9 days, 90 days, or even 9 months, please feel free to reach out. I can be contacted by phone, email, text, or better yet, set up a Zoom call. Because honestly, there's nothing more that we'd like to do than to help you make a smooth move to the Kansas City metropolitan area. All right, so now that the commercial's out of the way, we're gonna walk across the street and we're gonna check out the first of the 3 villas. I can't talk for you, but I'm excited because one of my favorite activities is actually going out and checking out million-dollar homes. Villa number 1. All the villas that we're going to tour today have been built by Lambia Homes. So let's go in and check this first one out. A really open floor plan, even maybe a little more open than I'm used to, but it does have a lot of potential. Whether you're entertaining or you're just having family night, everyone's going to always stay involved. The kitchen obviously is the heart of the room, but once again, because of the way it's laid out, it makes it very family and entertainment friendly. Now we got a nice living area, and one thing I do want to mention, this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. You've got basically 2 bedrooms up, one of which is a flex room, and then you have 2 bedrooms down. Homes in Regents Park, they're going to run anywhere from about $1,030,000 up to about $1.2 million, maybe $1.3 million, depending on how the villa is finished out. Now this particular unit is listed at $1,031,000, but if you were to reproduce it somewhere else in the complex, it's going to run you about an extra $60,000 to $90,000, and that's based on conversations with the builder's representative here on the project. So let's go check out the kitchen. You've got sort of a V-shaped counter. It's got a little bit of texture to it. As far as appliances, you've got a KitchenAid 6-burner gas stove. My preference is gas over electric. Then we've got an area over here which can be used for a lot of different things. Hey, a bar for entertaining, coffee bar in the morning. You've got the nice cooler here. And to my right, we have sort of a transition area. We have the mudroom, and we also have this nice butler's pantry. You've got a really nice, sleek microwave built in, more counter space, under counter lighting. You also have practical, easy glide pull-out drawers, getting like appliances and things of that nature replaced a lot easier than having to try to reach back in there and pull them out. Here, got a small mudroom area, and off to my left, you've got a nice double door coat closet. One of the nice features about this particular house is the fact that you've got a nice large deck, and with these double doors, you can actually bring the outside inside. It literally makes the house feel twice as large. My prior home, we added a screen porch similar to this, and during the spring and the fall, we'd open that room up and it would just double the size of the house. It made it wonderful. One thing you could do with this is you could actually screen this in so you'd be able to use it pretty much all summer and spring, but to really enhance it, you might even think about putting in misters and some heaters so you could literally use this room maybe 10 months out of the year. Let's go check out this room off to my right. So here what we have really is what I call a flex room. It does have a closet, so you can use this as a bedroom because it's right off the bathroom. In addition to that though, you can use this as a study, a music room. You know, it has a lot of purposes. It just depends on your particular lifestyle. So let's go down the hall. We've come to the utility room, conveniently located off the master bedroom. You also have a sink. So if you're the individual who does the laundry, you're going to appreciate the fact that you've got a sink, a little area for folding and sorting, and a nice drying rack. And that's going to transition right into the main closet. So you've got taking full advantage of the height. You've got 3 areas for hanging and storing clothes. You've got a full-length mirror, and you also have some built-in shelves. So plenty of area for all your clothing needs. And then you transition into this really beautiful spa-like bathroom. And one of the things that is really, I find attractive about this is the use of the different materials. They all blend in together, but they're of the similar palette. So for instance, you have this floor tile that has really nice pattern to it. It's not something you typically see. And then you transition into this walk-in shower. Once again, a little different tile, but again, the same palette. Same with the linen type shower tiles on the wall. And you have the Corsite bench seats. And then, which is also the same material that they used here on the vanity. So it's a really nice bathroom. So the master bedroom, it's got a lot of light. It's spacious. The cathedral ceiling makes it feel even more spacious. Plenty of room for like a dresser. You still have room for a chair and an area for, if you're like me, you like to read. And you got plenty of room for 2 nice size nightstands. So we've seen now essentially the entire first floor. Let's go downstairs and check out the lower level. So what do we have? We've got a great area for spending time with the family or again, entertaining. They've got it set up. They've got a nice bar using the same basic material that they used upstairs on the kitchen counter. You've got like a wine cooler, you've got a beverage cooler, nice countertop with indirect lighting. And one of the things that really makes this nice is the fact that this is what we call a daylight site. And by that I mean, it's not a flat site where when you walk into the basement, you really just have little windows at the top of the walls. Here you've got 3 big windows that lets a lot of light in. You're kind of right there at ground level, as opposed to a walkout. When you walk out, you literally walk out onto like your yard. So there's a lot of room here for all types of activities. You've got 2 bedrooms down here. Again, you've got 3 big spacious windows, and this is a good sized bedroom, feels even more because of the light that this room allows in. And we've got this really nice size, large walk-in closet. So let's go check out the other bedroom on the other side. Got a really large, deep closet. Has another closet, could be a linen closet for the bedrooms downstairs. And then we have another really nice bathroom. I like the way they've done it. I like the black trim with the charcoal gray tiles with a slightly lighter shade on the floor. So here we're going into the 4th bedroom. Again, it's pretty good size, not maybe as much light as the other bedroom, but it does have one nice size closet over here. I'm gonna walk in, it's got some shelves, Now over here we have this kind of a multi-purpose closet. Could be used for all types of things. So it's got some depth to it, so it's up to your imagination. Here we have a light that doesn't work at the moment, but this is what could be a safe room, so we do get the occasional tornado, so if you're told, hey, it's time to take shelter, this would be a great place to go. So now we've seen everything on both floors, so again, this house is $1,031,000 the way it's listed. If you were to reproduce it, you'd probably be looking at about a little over $1.1 million. It contains roughly 2,675 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. So with that being said, let's head back upstairs and we're gonna go tour house number 2. House number 2. Once again, this is villa number 2, built by Lambia Homes again. So let's go on and take a look at this particular unit. So once again, an open floor plan, but this one's a lot different than the one we just came from. First of all, it's washed in light. You have 2 whole walls that are basically nothing but window, and I like the layout a little bit better too. To me, it's just a little bit more homesy, if that's a word. I mean, what I like about it is you've got the living area, it kind of has its own definition. You've got a bank of windows, you've got a fireplace with 2 windows on either side. And although then you've got it framed by the stair railing that leads to the downstairs. Now, in addition to that, you've got the dining area, which is really just off the kitchen as you walk in. And it's a nice size, so there's a lot of flexibility with this particular room. And then let's talk about a little bit about the kitchen though. The kitchen, I love this massive quartz island. It's just beautiful. There's plenty of space. You can get at least 3 people up here. And this being a 3-bedroom, 3.5 baths, it fits all 3 of the bedroom occupants. One of the neat things about this particular, the way it's designed, is when you're here at the kitchen sink and you look out, you literally, with all the windows, you can see everything that's going on in the neighborhood. So if you have kids, you can easily look out and figure out where they are. And speaking of kids, one question that everybody always asks is, well, if I'm going to move to Regents Park, what are the schools like? Well, I am pleased to tell you that the schools in the Regents Park are part of the Blue Valley School District. Now, there are 4 school districts in Johnson County. All of them have terrific ratings, but the Blue Valley School District, which Regents Park feeds into per niche.com, has some of the highest ratings of all 4 of the areas. In fact, the Blue Valley is probably the #1 school district in many people's eyes in the Kansas City metropolitan area. Now, I suggest when you're looking at schools, you might check out greatschools.org or niche.com and either use one or both of those platforms to help you make your decision as whether or not the school system works for you. But even if you decide, hey, I would like private schools, well, you're in good luck, because within 10 to 15 minutes of Regents Park, you have access to some of the finest private schools. For the 1st grade to 8th grade, you've got Barstow, which is a private school just on the Missouri side. It's actually situated on state line. If you're looking for private high school, you've got Notre Dame de Sion, which is an all-girls Catholic high school. And then you've got Rocker's which is a Jesuit all-male high school. All 3 of these schools have extremely great reputations. In terms of elementary schools, there are 2 Catholic elementary schools close by. There's Michael the Archangel as well as the Nativity Parish. So you have plenty of school options here in Regents Park to choose from. So once again, you've got the KitchenAid 6-burner gas range, tons of countertop space and cabinets galore. You've got the built-in microwave. Over here, we have sort of an additional counter area. You could be a buffet or additional butler's pantry, not butler's pantry, but a place where you can put linens and things of that nature, as well as display all of your artifacts and china, for instance. Over here though, this is really kind of interesting, the way they've created this particular area. So what we have here is what we might call a pocket office. Acts really as the center or the nerve center of the home. Here you can run a business out of here. You can have your laptop. This is where you get all your recipes, managing the home budget and things of that nature. You've got all these additional drawers. So actually this could act as an extension of the butler's pantry. So I love this little room. You've got these great French double doors. Here you've got, again, a lot of nice countertop. You've got plenty of outlets so you can put all your kitchen items that you don't want out there. You can have them back here. You've got underlighting. Once again, lots of cabinetry and shelving. So let's continue our tour of the first level. Over here, here's the half bath. So again, this house, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Here's one of the half baths. I like the counter. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, so it's not your just plain Jane. We've got a small, decent sized mud room, nice bench. You got a place underneath for baskets for things. And then we have a nice coat closet. So now we're going to transition into a rather large utility room. So amazing countertop area. So if you do the laundry, you're going to appreciate this because there's plenty of area for folding clothes, stacking clothes, sorting clothes. You've got tons of cabinets and drawers. And best of all, once again, you've got a sink. Now right now they don't have a hanging rod, but I think this area here was meant for them to put a hanging rod so you can put the things that you don't want to put in the dryer but you want them to hang out. There's that spot. So let's transition now into the master closet. Now, this is a good sized closet. Again, they've taken, which they do now in almost all the homes, they take advantage of the height of the ceiling, so you've got plenty of bays. In fact, you have 8 large bays. In addition to the bays, you have 4 areas here and 4 down here for hanging shirts and jackets and things of that nature. Over here we have 2 sets of built-ins plus area for long garments. Now, one thing they don't have, which I would do, is what you might consider doing is putting a mirror on the back of each one of the doors here, so you can have kind of a back and front full-length mirror so you can see the front and the back of yourself. Transition into this master bathroom, which really kind of has a nice, again, a spa feel to it. You've got this nice soaking tub. I love the choice of the tile. So a walk-in shower, you got 2 separate controls. And I like the way they trimmed out the gold that ties into the fixtures that they used in the shower. Then, nice large vanity on either side. Each individual has their own storage area. And I love the choice of the wood that they use. That really, again, gives it a kind of a nice spa feel to it, particularly with the soaking tub. So now let's transition into the master bedroom. I love this master bedroom for a number of reasons. One, it's spacious. It's got lots of light. Again, they used a cathedral ceiling. I like the choice of the wood. Same finish as they used in the bathroom, but it's big. You can have a nice sized bed. This looks like a king size with nightstands. You've got plenty of space for a dresser and still have room for a chair with an ottoman. But what I really like about this room is the fact that in every bedroom we go to in today's market, one room is always the accent. And it's usually the wall that is where the bed goes against. But here they did it differently, and I think this is pretty clever. The accent wall actually is this wall with all the windows. And I really think it makes the windows kind of pop out and just makes the room, actually I think it makes it feel bigger than it actually is. So now we've covered really the first floor. Other than the living area, I like this room. It just seems to me it has its own, what I always say, personality to it. I like the choice of the flooring. The fireplace to me is a little bit more traditional. And as my lovely spouse would say, this whole upstairs first level is giving Pottery Barn. It really has such a nice feel. And just like the other villa that we just came from, you've got the double doors. You could easily screen this off and do all kinds of things to make this room even more usable throughout the year. So now we've finished with the first floor. Let's go downstairs and check out the lower level. So once again, What I like about this house, and this is just me personally, you may not feel that way. In fact, in the comments section below, tell me which of these two villas you've seen so far that you like the best, which one really fits your lifestyle if you were to choose between one or the other. So I like this, is once again, you've got the fireplace, so it's kind of the center of the room. It's really set up for family gatherings or entertaining. Over here, you've got room for, they've got it set up with like a kind of a quasi, I'll call it a game table. You could play board games, card games, all kinds of things of that nature, or you could put in like a foosball table, for instance. So it has lots of possibilities. But again, even though we're in the lower level, you've got these two windows that lets in quite a bit of light. So, and you don't feel like you're in the basement. So let's go check out this bedroom off to my right. This is a great bedroom. I mean, it is spacious. You've got, once again, you've got natural light coming in the room. Over here to my right, you've got their own private bathroom. Again, nice quartz countertop. I like the choice of tile. They've got a bench seat that is the same material as here. And then we've got a decent sized closet, built-in shelving, plenty of places to hang clothes. And over here, once again, you've got some storage space, or you can use this as your safe room in case there's one of those pesky tornadoes. So now let's transition to the other bedroom, which is at the end of the hall. Once again, good sized bedroom. It's got the ceiling fan. It's not quite as big as the other, but it's still pretty spacious. Got a nice walk-in closet with some built-in shelving, plenty of places to hang clothes. And in the hallway, we have a couple of things going for us. We've got a closet, and I mean a really spacious closet with some nice built-in shelves. So great utilization of space. Here is a full bath. Again, same color tile they use in the other bedroom. It's really nice, and really with the black trim kind of sets it off. And over here, and this behind this door, number 3, we've got a linen closet. So let's go back upstairs. Now we've toured 2 homes. Again, let me know what you think about these homes. Between the two, I kind of gravitate towards this house. It tends to be a little bit more my personality than a house that's really totally super open. So now we're gonna go head off to our third and final house. Actually, villa, I should say. We're starting the third villa actually inside because it's kind of hot outside, so we thought we'd hop in real quick and start our film now as opposed to outside. So this particular floor plan is very similar to the villa we just left. There's some tweaks to it. This is the 4-bedroom, 4-bath home. It's listed at $1,080,000. Now, I like this a little bit different than the other house in the sense that you've got this foyer when you first come in. So it has its own definition. It's clearly a foyer. You come into the dining room. So the dining room actually then has a little more definition to it as well. And like the other villa that we just came from, you've got this massive island. Again, a lot of cabinet area, counter space, plenty of cabinet space. I like the cutouts with the backlighting, and again, like the other villa, when you are standing here, you get to look out onto all the area on the outside. You can actually see from here out to the side yard as well as to the west. Now, let's go check out what is this particular part of the home. We've got a decent sized pantry. It's not quite as large as the pantry in the other house, but this particular layout actually has what we call a flex room. Because we have a closet, you could use this as a bedroom, because not only do we have a closet, but immediately off to my left, we have a full bathroom. I love the tile that they've chosen. I think they did a great job of selecting. I just think it really is stunning. Continuing our tour, we're going to transition now into mudroom area. So we've got a nice little mudroom. You've got the cubby holes area for underneath for baskets for things. You've got a nice sized coat closet. And then from here, you're going to transition into the utility room. Not quite as big as the one we just came from, but it does have area for folding and sorting. Again, they've got it ready to go with a hanging rod, and you've got a fair amount of cabinets as well as drawers. Now we're into the master bedroom's walk-in closet. Again, plenty of areas to hang clothes. They've got one set of built-in shelves. And again, they don't have a full-length mirror, but once again, you could, if you had a mind to, you could put one on either side or on just one of the doors. This isn't quite as spa feeling maybe as the other, but there's some things about this particular bathroom that I really do like. So first of all, I love the tile that they use for this shower. I mean, that is really makes a statement. And I like the way they just tied it in with the black trim on all the fixtures, including the faucets, the trim around the mirror, stems on the lamps. And then again, you have a nice soaking tub. It's just, I don't know, it has a really nice feel. Not quite as spa as the other one, but still very nice. And again, they've got the under counter lighting for the floating vanity. So let's go check out the master bedroom. This one's not quite as large as the other one, but it's still spacious. You have plenty of room to put in even a king-size bed with two nice-sized nightstands. In addition to that, you have room for a dresser. So it's good size. I like the way they did the ceiling, gives it some character. So this is almost the finish of our tour of the first floor. So once again, we're going to transition into the main living area. It's set up for your big screen TV if that's what you want. You've got the horizontal rectangular fireplace as opposed to the more traditional one that's got a hearth. And like the other two villas, you've got the dual doors that will open up. And as you can see beyond the covered porch, all the villas have this little patio, which is what they call a grilling patio. So you can keep the grill away from the house. Oh, and one thing I do want to point out, speaking of that, all the roofs are tile lifetime roofs. So you don't have to worry about having to replace it in say 25 or 30 years. It's not composition, it's a nice thick tile. So let's go downstairs now and check out the lower level. Now again, it has similarities to the other villa, but yet a little bit different. So like the previous villa, it has this nice kind of family room area. Great place to spend the evening with your family watching TV or your favorite movie. But they also have added over here some kind of a bar area. Now, if what you might think about doing is putting in a cooler on this half and keeping this half the way it is, I think it would make it maybe a little more functional. But again, like the other villa, you have room for, in this case, they have a air hockey table. So it's got lots of potential. And then over here we have bedroom number 3. You've got a nice size, well-appointed bathroom. Again, I like the tile, the fact you've got a bench seat, and it's got a tile floor. It's not a pan, it's actually tile floor, which is a nice touch. So decent sized bedroom, you got some natural light, and you've got a nice walk-in closet with built-in shelves. So now let's go check out that 4th bedroom. First off, nice linen closet, full bathroom with tub behind this door. And this is kind of slick. You can actually close this whole section off. So here we've got another nice size closet. So they're making sure they use all the space that the house has to offer. A second linen closet, a nice sized bedroom with a decent size walk-in closet. So like almost all these closets have some built-in shelving with plenty of area for hanging clothes as well as shelving. Perhaps the second most asked question is, hey, if I'm going to move to Regents Park, what's the location like? What's it close to? Well, for everyday errands like going to the grocery store, you have plenty of options. You have what I'll call 1 or 2 really upscale grocery stores like Hen House for one. For your mid-range, you've got a Hy-Vee and Price Chopper. Now, if you want more of like what I'll call the niche grocery stores, you've got Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Aldi, and Sprouts. All of these are probably within about 10 minutes, if that, of this particular unit. Furthermore, if you are someone who likes big box like Costco and Sam's, they're within 10 minutes of Regents Park. In terms of dining, well, You're right on 135th Street, which is a major east-west retail corridor. So literally within about 5 minutes of here, you've got a Von Maur and a J.C. Penney's. In terms of restaurants, you've got all kinds of fast food restaurants, almost anything you can think of, from burgers to Mexican to Indian, and probably there's probably 4 or 5 barbecue restaurants within striking distance. Now, in terms of what type of activities can you do off-site, if you will, well, you've got access to places like the Firebird Museum. You've got access to the AMC Theater. Both of these are about maybe 5 minutes from here by car. You could literally walk to them if you wanted to. If you're a golfer, you have access to, in my opinion, 2 of the nicest public golf courses, St. Andrews and Iron Horse, here in the Kansas City metropolitan area. If this is an area that you go, you know, I really like the feel of Regents Park. I like the different lifestyles that it has to offer in terms of layouts. You know, this might be the perfect spot for you. So if that's the case, or you have other questions, why don't you set up a time so we can chat? All my information is listed below. It's easy to get a hold of me. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me, or you can even schedule a Zoom call. Now, if you would do me a favor, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to receive all the latest videos that I'm posting. If you're like most of us, you're going to need financing to help you make your purchase. That being the case, in addition to being a realtor, I'm also a lender. I've been a lender for over 15 years, so I would be an excellent resource to help you navigate the lending process and answering any questions that you might have with regards to financing. All that being said, I want to thank you for watching the video, and until then, I look forward to showing you around the Kansas City area.